Bad Day by Lynnartist. Read by My Lost and Found. Summary. Izuku's period starts and he has a bad day because of it. The moment Izuku woke up, he could tell it was going to be a rough day. It took too long to convince himself to get up instead of skipping class. He could feel cramps coming on, and he can tell that it is going to be a bad dysphoria day. When he got up to go to the bathroom, he could feel the blood gushing out of him. With a now mad dash to the toilet, so he didn't ruin his boxers, he stubbed his toe. With a whelp, he fell, tears now forming in his eyes. He willed himself to get up and take care of what he needed to. He reached into his sink cabinet to find that he didn't have any more pain meds. Not wanting to bother anyone, he decided that he would just have to go through the day without any, and hopefully convince Mr. Aizawa to let him go to the store when classes were over for the day. Getting ready for class took longer than it usually would. When he pulled on the uniform, he felt like his hips were too wide, and that even with his binder on, you could still tell his chest wasn't flat. He got stuck on his tie again, and he didn't have time to do it a bunch of times. Plus, it's not like he has ever done it well to begin with. It's not like he has anyone to ask, and watching videos never seemed to help much. He was running late, so he decided to skip breakfast. Not that he felt like he could eat anyway. As classes went on, his cramps started to get worse, and his dysphoria also kicked up a notch, telling him that he would never be a real boy. He hunches over more and tries to focus on what is being taught, but he's losing focus. He didn't notice the worried glance he got from his classmates and teacher. No one is sure what's going on with their sunshine student. Izuku might still be taking notes, but it seems more robotic and less focused than what they normally see from him. The bell for lunch brings Izuku back a little, and he slowly gets up to the cafeteria. He normally loves lunch because he gets to eat lunch versus amazing food. And it's time to chat with his friends, but right now, he's dreading it. The thought of eating makes him feel nauseous. But they have hero training later, and he already skipped breakfast, so he needs to eat. He sits down at his table, still zoned out. "Midoriya! Midoriya!" Uraraka shouts, trying to get Izuku's attention. Finally, Izuku is brought back with them. "Did you say something, Uraraka?" "Yeah, I've been trying to get your attention for the last couple of minutes. Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine. No need to worry about me." He tries to put on his best smile, but the amount of discomfort he's in makes it not super convincing. "Are you sure? You don't look the best, and you've barely touched your food." She pushes on. "If you are not feeling well, you should go to recovery, girl," Ida adds, with his signature hand chop. "I'm fine. My stomach just hasn't been feeling the best today. But there's no need to go to recovery girl about it," he says, and then starts to eat more of his food in hopes of convincing them that he is okay. They still aren't sure, but decide that it's better not to push him on it. Izuku struggles to eat his food, but he's determined to finish it. Lunch is finally over, and his table heads back to class. They have English before hero training. He tries his best to focus, and it's going a little bit better than the classes before, but he really isn't into it. Before he knows it, it's time for hero training. He makes his way to one of the changing stalls. He does his best to just put on his hero uniform without looking at his chest. He's lucky that the support department were able to put in more compression top into his uniform so that he didn't have to worry about his chest or wearing a binder with it on. For class today, they were sparring to work on hand-to-hand combat. Although quirks were allowed, fighting quirkless was encouraged. It didn't seem like it would be a bad class. He could just ignore his cramps and hope that fighting didn't make them worse. Sadly, his wish did not come true, as toward the end of class, his cramps decided to come full force at him. He was in the middle of a fight, so he tried to ignore it and put his all into it, but he was slowing down. Because he was slowing down, Kirishima was able to pin him, and the added pressure to his hips made his dysphoria skyrocket as well. His eyes started to water as his mind starts to race. He can probably feel your hips and how feminine they are. What if he figures out I'm trans? What if he tells the class? He's so close, he can probably see your chest too, and how feminine your face is. He's brought back when Kirishima starts talking. Midoriya, are you okay? I didn't think I hit you that hard. Do you need to go to recovery, girl? No, I'm okay. I'm just a little tired and I got distracted. If you're sure. I am. Class is almost done anyway. All right, class is over. You can go get changed now. Aizawa yells. Kirishima offers a hand to Izuku. Thanks. I have to ask Mr. Aizawa about something, so go on without me. No problem. See you later, man. Hey, Mr. Aizawa, can I talk to you for a minute? Yes. Is something wrong? No, nothing is wrong. I was just wondering if it was possible for me to go to the store today, Izuku asks, fidgeting with his sleeves the whole time. Can it not wait until our weekly trip to the store? Aizawa asks with a sigh. I guess I was hoping to go today. I can go get what you need. I have to leave campus today anyway, so what do you need? I just need some pain meds. I woke up with a headache, and I found I didn't have any left. I can get those and bring you them later today. I don't trust that you wouldn't find trouble if I let you go to the store, problem child. I'm not that bad, he says with a pout. But thank you. Izuku walks back to the locker room, hoping that everyone had already left. When he got there, it looked like most people had left and that the people that were still there were just closing to leave. Izuku took his time grabbing his things so that he could go shower, so that when he got back to his dorm, he could just curl up and wait for Aizawa to come back. He didn't take long in the shower, and soon enough he was heading towards the dorms. He ended up just going straight up to his room, not seeing the worried glances that his friends made. He changed into his comfort clothes and just curled up on his bed and started to cry. He didn't know how long it had been, but at some point he must have drifted off to sleep, because he woke up to a knock at his door. Problem child, I brought what you asked for, Aizawa said through the door. It took a minute for Izuku to understand what was happening, but he soon got up and opened his door. He was about to say thank you, but he was interrupted before he could. Are you okay? It looks like you were crying. Aizawa's voice almost sounds concerned. And considering it was Aizawa, that probably means he actually is concerned. I'm fine, Izuku says while holding back a sniffle and trying not to let his eyes start watering again. Thank you for getting me pain meds. You don't need to lie to me. You've been off all day. I'm here if you need someone to talk to, or if you just need a hug. His voice is softer than Izuku has ever heard him, and that was the last straw before he started bawling his eyes out. Hey, it's okay. Can I hug you? He asks. Izuku just gives a small nod before his teacher envelops him in a hug. Can you tell me what's wrong? The gentleness of his teacher's voice is what convinces him to start talking. So he tells him about how his period started today, and how he's been feeling dysphoric all day, and that he's been dealing with cramps all day too. He even goes into how he's scared to come out to the class, and how his dad didn't accept him, and his mom. Thank you for telling me and trusting me. You don't need to come out until you're ready, but I honestly don't think any one of your classmates would care. But if they do have a problem with it or anyone at this school says something, tell me, and I'll deal with it. I don't think I'm ready yet, but thank you, Izuku says while sniffling. Of course, we have to stick together after all. We? You don't mean... Izuku trails off. Yes, but it's not something I feel the need to tell people. It also isn't something that I hide. Aizawa replies. Seeing as Izuku is calmed down, Aizawa gets up to leave. If you need help with anything, don't be afraid to come and ask me about it. If a couple days later, Aizawa gets a knock on his door and his problem child is asking him for help with his tie, no one needs to know.